A new report says that over 17.5 million Hispanic voters are expected to turn out to vote in 2024. And it could very well be the swinging result of crucial battleground states. And the group Bienvenido is on a mission to inspire the next generation of Hispanic leaders, focusing on faith, freedom, and civic engagement. They recently held their Vision conference in Texas over the weekend to highlight this mission and major achievements. Watch. Joining me now is the president of Bienvenido, an absolute superstar, an American patriot, Abraham Enriquez. Great to have you on the program, my friend.
Hola, amiga. How are you doing?
Oh, very well. Well, that looked absolutely fantastic. And I was back and forth on the phone with you guys all over, the weekend with your mom and with Bob from Goya. So congratulations on a truly unbelievable, spectacular conference over the weekend. Everyone was texting me and calling me about it. Talk about the mission of your incredible organization. And Dr. Carson I had on to promote it as well right before the weekend. So, what the message is and what we can accomplish.
Well, absolutely, Kimberly. And thank you so much. I was told that this is my pilot episode of my test to be your co-anchor. So
there
I
you
hope
go.
I do love spending some time with you, Kimberly. But look, in the words of one of our favorite presidents, Ronald Reagan, happy President's Day, by the way.
Yes.
If you can't make them see the light, make them feel the heat. And Bienvenido, we brought the heat. With our very first Vision conference, bringing over more than 50 speakers, Hispanic speakers in the areas of business, of civic engagement, of faith, policy, and governance. We heard stories from people who immigrated to America with nothing more but a dream and now have multi-million, multi-billion-dollar companies. We heard from pastors who are changing their city by requiring their church members to engage in civic participation and civic ministry. And then we also heard from elected officials and former White House officials on why exactly is it limited government policies that will help shape Hispanic entrepreneurship, growth, and development in America. But Kimberly, when we established Bienvenido in 2019, 5 years ago, we knew that it was important and we knew that our impact was going to be big. What I didn't realize was that we were going to be introduced to so many amazing Hispanic leaders in so many different areas that may have different walks of life, may have different viewpoints on how we get to the end goal, but still we all have one goal in mind, and that is to protect the American dream. And I believe that in the next 8 months, it's going to be critical that Hispanics understand the values that are on the line. And for your audience, why is the Hispanic vote important? I think there's 3 things that we need to talk about. Hispanics make up more than 50% of all new eligible voters. There will be 4 million more Hispanic voters going to the ballot box in November than there were in 2020. And 1 out of 10 voters in America this election cycle will be Hispanic. So as Hispanics are increasing in populations in states like Arizona, Nevada, Ohio, Pennsylvania, it will be the Hispanic vote that will decide the future of this country. So Bienvenido, what we're doing with Vision Conference could not come at a more critical time. And just reminding our community of what are the values that we care about and why is it important to ensure that over 34 million eligible Hispanic voters are casting their ballot to protect American sovereignty and protecting the American dream.
It's unbelievable. It's such an incredible movement. I mean, we've talked about it and I've had the pleasure of being at your conferences, and The energy and the enthusiasm that we see and the support for the Hispanic and Latino community is unbelievable. I mean, people are super excited. You've helped build a very important and big tent to welcome everyone into our party and this group and support President Trump. It's really been magnificent. And people say to me, Kimberly, there'll be no recount. There'll be no trying to, decide who actually won the election. This actually gets it done. And you have the very specific plan and the support to actually implement this in a magnitude of order way in these swing states. Talk to us about what you're seeing on the ground in all these different swing states, and what are the issues, Abraham, that matter the most?
Yeah, well, bienvenido. We're really, for the next 8 months, Kimberly, we're hyper-focused on 6 very distinct specific counties that are heavily Hispanic populated, that are swing counties. Exactly what you just said, because the Hispanic vote is so large, because we are the largest minority voting bloc and the fastest growing in the country, if you can effectively mobilize Hispanic voters in key districts that can flip a state, that is just enough to decide the election that same night. So in states like Nevada, Clark County, Maricopa County in Arizona, Lehigh County out in Pennsylvania, those counties are heavily Hispanic populated. All you need to do is just show some face in those counties, remind Hispanics of what they care about, remind them what's on the line, and ensure that those Hispanics are getting out the vote. And it's really not that difficult, Kimberly. It's not rocket science here. And I think the best advocates for the conservative movement are the left themselves. When you have a sitting president who's going to ice cream shops on his campaign trail, laughing at reporters and saying he's not really that concerned of the economy, it's a huge slap in the face to Hispanics Americans who are trying to make ends meet. It's a huge slap in the face to all those Hispanics who feel like their businesses, their faith, their families are being crushed because of the lack of the attention of a sitting president. And as I'm going into the ground, as we're going down in South Texas, Central Arizona, on the outskirts of Pennsylvania, what we're seeing, Kimberly, is that Hispanics, you don't need an Ivy League degree from a really prestigious school to know when you're being taken advantage of. And we're seeing millions of Hispanic voters saying, this is not what we signed up for. We need the president that protected the American dream, that pushed forward policies that uplifted us. And I'm so proud of our community, Kimberly, that is sophisticated voters, that before they're loyal to a party or a candidate, they're loyal to the country that gave us the big bienvenido to our families, to our hopes, and to our dreams. And at this point, there is one person who is running for president of the United States that gets that message. And every single day, he's sacrificing day in and day out to ensure that the American dream is protected. And it is why you have this increasingly support of Hispanics for President Trump. In 2016, he had 30% of the Hispanic vote. In 2020, overperformed, getting 35%. I believe that even these swing counties, if we can get President Trump to 40%, Kimberly, it's game over. And that's why Democrats and liberals are going crazy with the Hispanic vote, because they realize that, as they push more further left, Hispanics are holding their ground and saying, no, we want to protect the American dream.
Oh, you're absolutely right. And I want you to tackle this myth head on, that Hispanics want open borders, because that is not really the case, is it?
No, absolutely not. And you look at what happened in the past couple of primaries. It was the open border position, border security, that got new Republican voters out to vote for President Trump. And this idea that Hispanics, in order to court Hispanic voters, you have to be soft on immigration, you have to be soft on the border. I think that it's a total false narrative, because let's just look at these border districts. Let's look at Tucson, Arizona, Hidalgo County in South Texas, Cameron County. These are border districts, Kimberly, that were under Democrat control for more than 120 years. This last election cycle, 3 Hispanics flipped those districts because they ran on tough border security messages. Hispanics are tired of being burned by immigration policies. Let the record reflect that any positive immigration reform that has been done in modern history has been under a Republican presidency. Democrats burn Hispanics on immigration every single time. And it's time that Hispanics are realizing that and ensuring that we want a fair and just process. And for the millions of Hispanics that live on the border, these are their resources, these are their infrastructure that are being completely dismantled because Biden doesn't have the grit to protect our border and protect our country.
No, it's really true. And Alejandro Mayorkas has done just a disservice to the Hispanic community by the abysmal failure under his direction and lack of leadership regarding the border. Let's talk about what inspired you personally, to take on this incredible mission with Bienvenido and what is to come in the months ahead.
Absolutely. Well, Kimberly, right out of college in 2019, actually, let's go even further than that. In 2016, I turned 18 that year. And as you know, there was a very, very important election. And I knew who I was voting for. And I was going around my college campus telling people how proud I was, that I was excited to vote Republican.
Mm-hmm.
What I didn't realize was that how so many people were going to push back at me and say, well, but you're Hispanic. Why would you be voting Republican? And I thought that was kind of odd, Kimberly, because it's because I'm Hispanic that I will be voting Republican. Then as I graduated, I started getting more into the workforce. I found hundreds of more Hispanics like me that said, well, we are Republican. We just feel like we can't be proud of saying that because there's this push for us that we get kind of tainted on if we say we're conservative. And so that's the birth of Bienvenido, to really be a focus point of saying to Hispanics that you should be loud and proud of standing for values and that push for growth and prosperity. And that's something to be proud of. And at Bienvenido, I feel like that's why we've been so successful. One, because of the grace of God. And two, Kimberly, because we're championing the message that is pretty simple, but great. Look, Hispanics, they don't want to hitch their wagon to a political message, Kimberly. They want to hitch their wagon to a movement. In Bienvenido, we are putting that movement of building, of growing, and of prospering. But we need our people to go out and reflect that at the ballot box. We are a large, powerful number, Kimberly. But we're never going to be taken serious unless those numbers reflect at the ballot box. And that's what Bienvenido is doing, is ensuring that everyone that can cast a vote is casting that vote for the right person that has done their time in ensuring that Hispanics can prosper in America.
Absolutely. And you've done an incredible job. And I always love a powerful woman as well. And you have that with Betty Cardenas working with you side by side. She's truly a force to be reckoned with. You guys have really earned the respect of so many Americans and certainly in the Hispanic and Latino communities. So I applaud you for what you're doing. Where can people go to get more information, to get involved, and to make a contribution to this incredible movement?
Yeah, for anyone that wants to join this movement, anyone that wants to invest in this movement, they can reach us at bienvenido.us. Kimberly, there is no better ROI in investing in the future of this country. Let's lay it out clear. If the Black vote, if the college-educated vote, if the white suburban mom vote, if it all stays the same, which we know it's not, everyone is shifting more to the right, but let's just say that all stays the same. If you can just get a little bit more of the Hispanic vote to the right, that is that much more impactful to this election. So investing in Hispanic outreach truly is investing in the future of this country. And we hope that everyone on your show will join us next year, October 3rd and 4th in 2025 for Vision Conference. We're really excited. The only thing that was missing this year, Kimberly, was your fiery walk-up, let's get loud dance with the impactful message that you have.
People do love that, I gotta say. But I did deliver you guys a nice speech honoring you all. So
it was incredible.
That was good. Well, God bless you, my great friend, Bienvenido President Abraham Enriquez. It shows you the difference with one committed, passionate person can make a difference on the country and a difference on this election that is so important. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kimberly. Muchas gracias.